Let's talk about money, but not in a scary way. Don't teach these things in school for a reason. If you really want to succeed, you have to know this. Hello, beautiful people. How is everyone doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I am going to be introducing a new series, which is the things that schools don't teach you, but you have to know series. And today, episode one, as you can see from the title, is financial literacy. Financial literacy. The reason why I started this series to educate people on things that schools don't teach but they need to know in order for you to succeed in life. Because one thing about school is they want you to be a good employee, but these concepts will help you to actually soar above your peers. Some of these things that I learned are things that school or I didn't learn in school, but they are so important for you to be able to succeed in life, to advance more in life. Being able to have learned these things by myself through reading, taking courses, books, articles. I am here to educate you on these things so that you can also have the advantage that a few people have because they know these things over a lot of people that are in school that do not know these things. Before we go into what financial literacy is, why is it that schools do not teach financial literacy? Why is it not in the system or in the school system and schedule for young people to be educated on financial literacy? The thing about school is they train you, like I said earlier, to be a good employee. Okay, in schools, you are taught how to work for money, but financial literacy will teach you how to make money work for you. And because school wants to produce a large amount of employees that will work in businesses and only a few people who are the CEOs or the owners of these companies who are financially literate will be able to have good employees that work for them. Now, financial literacy will make you or will give you an advantage in succeeding because you know very key things about finances that a lot of people don't know. And this is not limited to your educational background. There are lots of people who study banking, economics, but they are not financially literate because, like I said, these things are not taught in school. So, what is this financial literacy? Financial literacy is basically the understanding of what money is, how money works, and how to make money work for you. Once you understand these basic concepts, you are basically financially literate. Once you understand what money is, a tool of commerce, you understand how money works and how to make it work for you. That is when you will fully be able to become financially literate. One thing that a lot of people don't know about very wealthy people, maybe in Nigeria or any other country that you know of, or that you are from, is that people that are very wealthy, for instance, Dangote, um, Femi Otedola, and many others, these people don't work for money like schools teach. They make their money work for them. That is the reason why, or they are one of the wealthy people in the country. They don't work for money. They make money work for them. They are financially literate. They know things that the average person who just came out from school doesn't know. Financial literacy is actually really important. It's very important for you to learn. If you are someone who wants to amass sustainable wealth, and I don't just mean like to have a lot of money, but to be able to have generational wealth that you can pass on to your children's children, and generations to come. You have to learn this. People who are financially literate, they have an edge in this success thing over people that don't have it. There are a lot of people who want to be wealthy, but they don't know how to. All they know how to do is work hard, work hard, work hard. But financial literacy will teach you not just how to work hard, but how to work smart. How do you start the journey of financial literacy? First of all, read. And I don't mean like you have to go to school. I don't even know how many schools teach about it. If there are any, there will be very few. But you can read books. There are so many books on financial literacy. I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's very beginner friendly, although a lot of people do argue that it's outdated. It is beginner friendly. Then there is The Psychology of Money, The Richest Man in Babylon. There are so many financial literacy books that you have to read or that you should read. And apart from books, you can read articles too on the internet. There are so many materials and articles on financial literacy, beginner friendly, that will help to guide your journey into being financially literate. And you can also take online courses on financial literacy. There are so many out there, I'm very sure. If you Google, you will find. For instance, on Alison. Alison is the platform where you can take courses across various topics just in one place. And the best part is that it is for free. So you can actually learn financial literacy on websites or applications like Alison, and Alison is free. So if you would like to use Alison to learn about financial literacy or any topic that you want, be it in fashion industry, in technical industry, banking, finance, you can start by clicking the link in my bio and then continue. Like I said, it's completely free to study any course at all on Alison. Give yourself up for education. You have to be educated. You have to know what this thing is. So read books. If you are someone who doesn't like to read, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You have to read books, you have to read articles, you have to take courses online. Anyone that you want. You may not do all of them, but you can definitely do some. Just for you to have an understanding of what financial literacy is, for you to be able to start the journey proper. After you've been educated on what financial literacy is, or as you advance, you continue to be educated, you have to practice what you learn. And one of the things is you have to learn to invest. Now, like I said earlier, people who are very, very, very wealthy, these people make their money work for them. And one of the ways they do it, or the primary way to do it, is by investing. That is the primary way. You see, saving will help to keep your money. It's not bad to save, it's very essential to save. But investment or investing will grow your money. Saving, your money is not growing. Even high yield savings accounts, I consider it a form of investment because you are being paid tokens to save. I said token because you're not being paid a lot of money to save. But investment will grow your money. Investment is how you make your money work for you. You have to invest. You don't just save, you also invest. As a man, as a woman, someone who wants to increase their wealth, you have to dabble into investment. You just have to. You cannot grow your wealth without investing in the right assets. One of the ways to start, I would say, you can start your investment journey first of all by investing in things that you like. For instance, I love real estate. Okay, I love the idea of owning lands. I love property ownership. I just love real estate. So when I started out my investment journey, one of the first things that I invested in was parts or fractional share in a rental property, which made me a landlady. Like, if you don't have a lot of money to buy a plot of land or acres of land, there are actually platforms where you can own fractional shares or fractional stocks of this land. You can own parts of a rental property. Platforms like Keble now, you can own part of properties for as little as 5,000 naira. You can start your investment journey with as little as 5,000 naira, and the return on investment rates are so good. There are 21%, 50%, 80%, 18%. I think the highest I've seen is 80%, which is really, really good because you don't see that a lot. And if you are someone who has a low risk appetite, or you are just a beginner in investment as a Nigerian, and it's not only open to Nigerians, I believe, you can start with platforms like Keble. So if you like real estate, then you can start with platforms like Keble. You can start with Cryptstock. I will link the information in my bio, as well as referral codes for you to start the journey. And it's completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. You just have to invest and start. That's all. With as little as 5,000 naira, you can be a part owner of a rental property. You can be part owner of an apartment, of land. Also, you can also own lands and buy houses there in naira, in dollars, and in pounds. So start your investment journey today. If you love real estate, that's nice. If you like crypto, you can also dabble into it. If you like gold, mutual funds, bonds, these are so many, many ways to invest. Personally, I invest in real estate. I also invest in mutual funds and in stocks from companies that I believe will do well over time. Okay. And for mutual funds, I don't really know how to explain mutual funds, but I know that is a form of investment, and you can invest in mutual funds with as low as 5,000 naira. You don't have to actually have a lot of money to start, but if you have a lot of money, that is also good for you. With as low as 5,000 naira, you can invest in mutual funds in financial platforms like Optimus, Stanbic IBTC Bank, and so many. I think GTCO has theirs too, and so many others. So do your due diligence to research on the ones that you would like to, or the kind of things that you would like to put your money into. There are so many things out there that you can invest in: bonds, federal government bonds too, which is kind of like lending the government money and being paid back. So, and that's another thing. And when you're investing, please know the kind of appetite you have, risk appetite you have. If you have low risk appetite, if you have medium, and if you have high, invest accordingly. Another tip on financial literacy, or how to start your financial literacy journey, is budgeting. You have to budget, know where your money is going to, and how your money is coming is so important, that you don't just spend your money anyhow, that you actually sit down, draft out a budget on what you spend on, what you will not spend on every month or week, however you like to do it. But make sure that you are budgeting. Even miscellaneous things that you do not know would come about. You can have space in your budget for that, but do well to budget. Another tip is assets. Owning assets. Now, if you are financially literate, you would know that it is very important for you to own assets. Not everything you own will be an asset, definitely. And an asset is something that makes you money, something that appreciates in value over time and will make you money. And the opposite of assets is a liability, which is something that actually takes your money for maintenance and whatnot. As someone who is financially literate, you know that you are to own assets, as you also have liabilities, but own assets. And assets that are things that appreciate over time, like land. Land is a major asset, because one thing about land is that it never depreciates in value. Land always appreciates in value. If you buy a plot of land for 5 million naira and you want to sell it in the next 5 years, you are going to sell it for double the price, or even triple. Land appreciates over time. So invest in assets, invest in things that will make you money. Own assets, okay? Not just liabilities. Once you start working and you begin to earn a significant amount of money, the first things that you should buy should not be 3 cars. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You buy 3 luxury cars and you don't own a single piece of land. When you want to sell that car, because it's used, you cannot sell it at the price at which you bought it. So that's the thing, it depreciates in value. It's not making you money, it's a liability, because you have to pay for maintenance, some countries insurance, and also like to fill it up with fuel every single time. Why not buy land? It's not bad to buy cars, obviously, but buy land. Like, you can't own 5 cars and not have at least a single plot of land or even an investment anywhere. That's not wise. That is not wise. That is not financially literate at all. Okay. So own assets. It is very important for you to own assets, own properties that will appreciate over time, whether it's land, whether it's gold. The value of gold always goes up. So these are things that you should invest in, assets that you should own and invest in that appreciate over time. Another one is not buying into every trend. If you are financially literate, which I believe by now you should be, there is no reason why you should be buying into every trend. There is no reason why every single fashion item or toy or aesthetically pleasing thing would come up or trend on the internet and you just feel the need or you're compelled to buy it. When you are financially literate, you understand that you have to put your money in things that will work for you. Just because something is trending on the internet does not mean you have to have it. It doesn't mean you can't buy into every trend. That is on its own is already not wise financially. Like, you cannot buy into every trend. As someone who is financially literate, is not wise. That money that you're using to buy into things that are worth 200,000 naira, 200,000 naira, $20, $500, and use that money to invest instead. Use that money to buy shares. Use that money to buy shares in companies. Use that money to buy stocks. Use that money to buy rental properties. Just use the money to do better things that will help you generate more income. You get, like, stop buying into every trend. This is something that a lot of people do, and the worst part about it is people go into debt just because they want to be a part of a trend. They want to show off on the internet that they have this thing. So nobody cares. It's not, nobody actually cares. Okay, you have that. Okay, you're not in debt to show the whole world that you own this piece of clothing. Just because you're able to buy something doesn't mean you can afford it. A lot of people go into debt, or they spend all their money buying into trends that absolutely makes no sense. Do not allow anyone to pressure you. Spend your money responsibly and wisely. If you notice, wealthy people, and I didn't say rich, wealthy people who are financially literate, they don't buy into trends. They don't buy into every trend. In fact, the things that they buy into are things that are of value to them. They don't just spend their money anyhow. So be as wise. Be as wise. Last but not the least, the tip I have for you here is have an extra source of income. Have an extra source of income. Now, if you have a 9 to 5, for instance, an active source of income, it will also be nice for you to have a passive source of income, just so that you don't depend solely on one source of income. Because in case anything goes wrong, you'll be able to have another thing to depend on till you find more stability later, if you understand what I'm saying. So don't just depend on one source of income, have an extra source of income. You don't have to have 10 sources of income. You don't have to have a lot. Personally, I feel like it's not bad to have various sources of income, but just make sure that everything that you're doing, you're not trying to stress yourself out. Make sure that in your quest to, own or have multiple sources of income, you are not at the receiving end of stress and always being tired, burnout, and all of that. It's very important for you to also take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, it's only the living that look for money. It's only those who are alive that can be able to be wealthy and access wealth. If you're not alive, you can't. So do what's take care of yourself too, as well. But it's very important for you to have an extra source of income. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be that maybe you're an investor. As you have a 9 to 5 corporate job, you also invest. It could also be that maybe you have a property that you rent out. For instance, maybe a nice Airbnb. It could be that, or an apartment that is bringing you money every year, every month, every week, depending on the nature of the rental property. So it's very important for you to have a passive source of income as you have an active source of income. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you learned a lot. I hope you learned a thing or two. Like I said, this is something that is not taught in schools, and you have to understand that if you truly want to be wealthy, like the wealthy people that you see and admire, you have to put in the work. You have to know what they know. Okay, so let us this year make it an important goal of ours to be financially literate, to always learn more about how we can improve our finances. So that will be all for today. And like I said, I believe that you have learned a thing or two. And I believe that you found this video very, very, very insightful. And if you did, don't forget to like, to comment, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in my next video.